You are listening to Larry Conners, USA.
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth.
This is Larry Conners USA. Larry Conners USA.
I woke up this morning, got myself a gun. Mama always said I'd be the chosen one.
Hear me clearly. America is not a racist country. It's backwards to fight discrimination with different types of discrimination. And it's wrong to try to use our painful past to dishonestly shut down debates in the present.
April the 27th, the 29th. Let me correct that. I'm already falling 2 days behind trying to stay up with everything. April the 29th, 2021. Quentin will call me out on that, and he should. Last night, of course, President Biden made his remarks. 1 hour, 5 minutes, his first address to joint members of Congress, and yet in the House chamber, Nancy only allowed 200 to come in. A lot of folks were able to watch it on big screen movie theaters or things like that have been open, or big TVs set up in general areas so they could sit in their car and watch and honk as they like things. It was pretty boring all the way through, and there was a clip of Senator Ted Cruz at one point with his eyes just, he was probably sleeping. He admitted, he said it was boring but radical. And you heard then Senator Tim Scott, South Carolina Republican, a black man, and saying, hear me, this nation is not racist. Well, that was in part responding to something Biden was suggesting in his speech last night. And ironically, one of those coming to Scott's defense to say, yeah, maybe it isn't racist, was, you're going to get, hang on, you don't know how big this is going to get, was Vice President Harris. Some of her remarks pretty much agreeing with Senator Scott. And then last night, in the midst of all of this, out of all the things he's up there, Biden pushing and how we're going to make things better and we're going to take your money and spend it wisely, yes. But beyond that, talking about the attack January 6th on Capitol Hill. I know I told you previously they were going to beat that to death repeatedly. It was wrong. I said it was wrong the day it was happening. I said it needed to be stopped. They're not being patriots the moment they start pushing against police, attacking police, and then going into the halls of Congress. And I don't mean just milling around and shouting, but began to steal and destroy things. No, they were wrong. But Biden last night, President Biden said, it was the worst attack on our democracy since the Civil War. Has he been asleep that long? Really? Since the Civil War? The worst attack on our democracy? How would you rate 9/11? How would you rate Pearl Harbor? What about a 1983 bombing in the U.S. Senate? Are you aware of that story? Or maybe even before that, 1954, a U.S. shooting in the House of Representatives by those who were trying to kill members of Congress. You know about those? You think Biden would. He's old enough, but spend enough time in your basement, mold gets to you, you begin to lose some things. Like you don't remember what the day is. Yeah, me. We're going to have reaction to the Biden speech. One of them is going to be John LeBoutier, former U.S. congressman from New York, an anti-Trumper, calls himself a Reaganite, always very candid in his remarks. I want to get his take on what Biden was saying last night, where we're going with all this big spending package that Biden is pushing forward. And I also want to get his take on word coming out today that New York City, Mayor Bill de Blasio, will open up all of New York City July 1. You think it'll happen? And we're also going to be joined today by Tristan Justice, contributor to The Federalist, talking about how Twitter last night continued to let a tweet go out basically calling Senator Tim Scott Uncle Tim. You know what they were trying to say. And they let it stay up there. They didn't yank it down. Uncle Tim. They knew it was derogatory what they were doing, but Twitter wouldn't shut that down. That was apparently okay by their policies. One major network anchor, by the way, says Biden was robbed last night. Robbed. I'll explain that. And then this one. Hunter Biden has a new job. A job. Lock and load. Ready on the right.
You can hear podcasts of this program at Larry Connors USA Facebook. Larry Connors USA Facebook.